Hey, my name is Mark. I'm a luthier. I build guitars, and this video started off as a guitar project. Now, I'm testing out some vinegar-based solutions for adding a forced patina on copper sheets for a copper-topped guitar that I'm building right there. But before I go anywhere near the guitar, I want to test on a smaller scale. I need a smaller canvas to test on. And I don't want to use scraps. I thought it'd be cool if we used a bronze watch case. So, smaller canvas, same exact formula or recipe for our vinegar solutions. So if you're a guitar builder, then we get to actually take a look at some of these vinegar-based solutions for aging and relicing metal. And if you're a watch guy, then you can see what a guitar builder does to a watch case. I don't know if relicing is a thing for watches, but it is for guitars. Let's get to it. So before we force our patina on our copper sheets, we're going to test on this small piece of bronze. This is a all bronze case. I don't know if the bezel is bronze, but I'm going to assume it is. And I don't know if the crown is bronze, but I'm going to assume it is. Case back is sapphire and stainless steel, so I'm not worried about that. So let's go ahead and remove the spring bars and then see if we can get a patina on this. What I have here is a solution of vinegar and salt, specifically white vinegar and pink Himalayan salt. So as far as the amount, it's just about 15 millimeters worth of white vinegar in here and about 4 pinches of Himalayan pink salt. This is a clear acrylic box. I'm going to set it right here at the center. So we have a little seat for our watch to sit on. And then I'm going to place the watch as much in the center as possible because we want the fumes to evenly patina the watch all the way around. I'm just taking some of this solution and I'm wiping it onto the case. And the bezel, I'm not sure if the bezel is bronze, but I'm going to assume it is. And I'm not sure if the crown is bronze. Okay. This is Himalayan salt. I don't have sea salt, but you can sprinkle some on. Good enough. Let's go ahead and seal it up. I'm going to set this off to the side and we'll come back in an hour to check on it. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. Looks quite lovely. So there's some really cool sections here where the salt got trapped in that corner. And then through condensation on the lid, the moisture then basically melted the salt. Same thing on the lug, some nice dark areas on the lug, which I really like. There in the corner. But then we have like this kind of patina on the edge. And the bezel is the one thing I was really worried about. I was kind of worried it wouldn't patina, but it did. The crown I was also worried about. The crown got a nice patina. So I'm going to have to rinse this off under the sink. I finished washing this under some warm water. It should have stopped any kind of chemical reaction. I guess you could go a step further and use some kind of base or something, but I didn't bother. This is going to continue to patina, although I just quickly sort of gave it a nice jump start. And I feel like this is a subtle, gentle jump start. I really do like the portions where the salt actually landed. So I guess my first learn was there was no moisture anywhere on the actual watch and when I sprinkled the salt, so it just fell off. If you wanted the salt to stick to the actual material, you need to have some kind of like moisture on there for the salt to stick to. So it basically just dropped off and it fell on areas where it could continue to actually be, like right there on the lug, for example, and there on that lug. That looks really cool. And then there's some side case discoloration too, especially in the corners. I really dig the corners. I think that's really awesome. Really happy that the crown came out. I didn't think it was, and the bezel too. So that little coin edge and the top. I'm not really sure if the camera's doing this justice, but it does have sort of a splotchiness, an unevenness to it that I really like too. And it's not shiny anymore, so it doesn't look like gold, for example. It does look like a worn, reliced, patinaed watch. I guess the sides are still kind of shiny. They're reflecting a lot of light, but I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. The solution was just vinegar, just a little bit of it. And then I put 4 pinches of salt, but then towards like about maybe 10 minutes in, I put a bunch of salt in there, like a whole bunch, and just kind of shook it around. And this was only in there for, I mean, less than an hour, I think. I guess you could go another hour if you wanted to. I didn't even want to bother. When I looked at this, I'm like, yeah, that's where I want to stop. Just wanted a nice, subtle, gentle patina, and I'm really liking this. This is going to look really good. So I've never done a watch build before. I've never put a dial on a watch movement. I've never put hands on. So this is definitely not the video for you to learn how to do it. There are so many good resources on YouTube to do this. But all I'm doing here is getting an off-the-shelf Seiko NH35 movement. These are pretty good workhorses. So off camera, what I did was remove the extra feet on the dial and then place the dial onto the movement, ensuring there was no space between the dial and the movement. And then got myself a set of hands. I prefer these kind of Tudor style snowflake hands as opposed to the kind of traditional Mercedes-Benz hands. I just really like these. These are a piece of cake to install the hour hands. You just push them down, you just have to have the right pushers. Minute hand was also fairly easy. I am using magnification, so I do have something on my eyes right now that are magnifying about 4x. I'm using just a little wooden dowel to push the minute hand into place before using the hand setting tool to push it in. And then you're going to want to wind the watch to make sure the hands aren't hitting each other or hitting anything on the dial. Seconds hand is actually pretty easy. Most people say it's not. You just have to have good light and good magnification. Did that off camera, obviously. And then I put the case on. Everything lines up. And so now it's just about sizing up the stem. And this takes a couple of shots. You put the stem in, you measure, you cut, file, and then keep doing it until it actually works properly. And by working properly, what this means is you want to be able to push the actual crown in and turn it, screw it in so that it's watertight. So I did this about twice. The first measurement was around 4 mil, but it was clearly much more than that. And I have a nice little fine file for filing. And then you just want to lock tight the threads. There's, again, so many YouTube videos on how to do this. Once that's on, you can close up the case back. I was expecting a new rotor to come in for the exhibition case back, and it hadn't arrived yet, so all I did was grease up the actual gasket and then put the case back on. But I will eventually have to remove that case back to install the new rotor. Blow all the dust out and ensure that there's nothing in there that shouldn't be. I did get one of these cool little lens cleaning things. I thought they were really easy to use. Recommend those. I hadn't tested out the bezel, but it actually does turn, still clicks. Nothing happened to it during the actual patina process. I got a really nice cracked leather strap from Watch Gecko. It is just gorgeous and beautiful, and I was about to put them on that same day the rotor came in. It's a sort of rose gold, brass, bronzy style rotor, so it kind of matches with the whole vibe. And this is simply a matter of unscrewing one screw, taking out the old rotor, and putting this one in. These are all NH35 compatible, so not a big deal. I really love the engraving design. It's a wave pattern, which kind of goes with the whole vibe too. Just make sure it's all engaged and the actual rotor is winding the watch. Blow out any kind of stuff. There was something in there, so I had to use some Rodico to kind of clean it up. Then put the last. Again, gorgeous cracked leather strap that goes really well with the whole watch. And you'll notice that the patina of the watch case has actually increased since I took it out of the solution. So there is a continuing process that's happening. And if I have a shot of the before watch with the moment I took it out and rinsed it underwater to right now, you notice a huge difference in between all three. Just look at it. It's so patinaed perfectly reliced. I love that it's uneven, like there's a randomness and chaos to it. I think it looks so awesome with the sterile dial too. I'm a guitar builder. I usually build guitar related things, but it was nice to kind of step out of that realm for a moment and take a look at another world. Now, I don't think relicking is a thing in the watch world. It is in the guitar world, but I applied some of that kind of like relicking mentality to the watch, and I love it. Guitar dudes just love reliced things. We do. We can't help it. And so having a relic watch is awesome. And this isn't like putting scratches on the watch. This is just a patina. That's all it is, but it's a forced patina. Now, I could have gotten probably the same patina from just wearing it, you know, on a daily basis, but having it jumpstart was the best thing ever, because from the last time you saw this watch, it actually patinaed even more. This got much, much darker, so much darker in just days. So one of the things we're gonna do now is take it a step beyond. I had this case in the vinegar solution for about an hour. What if we left it in there for 24 hours? And that's that what if. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's probably ruin the watch, but that's what YouTube is for. It's for me to ruin things for your entertainment. So obviously we're gonna take the strap off, take the movement out, put the case back in the solution. We're leaving it there for 24 hours. We're gonna see what happens. So I let this sit for 24 hours. It's the next day, early morning, and we're gonna do the reveal here. All right, so it looks like the salt most definitely did have a reaction, which is excellent. So all it takes is time to get this kind of crazy, colorful green patina. Very shipwreck, right? So this looks like it's been at the bottom of the sea, which is quite lovely. Look at this beauty. Total shipwreck. And I think the trick is moisture. So the salt has to melt to create this kind of green stuff. And the moisture just comes from the fumes. It's kind of like once you close that chamber up, this stuff just kind of creates condensation on the inside of the lid. It's that condensation that really makes this happen. I mean, look at the colors on my gloves too. It's really all coming off. All right, so the watch case came out pretty crazy, right? Total shipwreck. Like it's been underwater for centuries. A lot of great turquoises and oranges, really deep oranges, but then there's also blacks. So if you leave a case in the solution for that long, things turn black. Now it is possible to reverse this type of aging. You just have to basically scrub it with like vinegar and a toothbrush or like a base. There's a whole bunch of videos online on how to do this. I'm not gonna go into that. I just wanted to show you the kind of cool stuff you can do with this vinegar solution. It's just household white vinegar, household pink Himalayan salt. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy.